You can comfortably do 124 on this motorcycle. This is a true competition for Royal Enfield Classic 350 or not. Easy 80, 90s or 100s also, and this mirror will not shake. It's a 15-liter fuel tank as against the Royal Enfield Classic 350 gets a 13-liter fuel tank. Wow, and welcome back to Weekend on Wheels, and I'm Girish. And if you look at how the Indian automobile industry has evolved, it is phenomenal. We used to have a 50cc motorcycle, and today we have up till 1800cc motorcycle in India. And in that situation, one of the motorcycle company which has really taken the Indian market by storm is Royal Enfield, and their flagship Classic 350 has literally taken over the market. In this situation, do you think could we have a better competition, or could we have a motorcycle which could really compete with Royal Enfield Classic 350? And Honda said yes, we do have an answer for it, which is the all-new Honda CB350 Highness. In this video, I'm going to talk about in detail about the Honda CB350 Highness and compare this with the Royal Enfield Classic 350 in every aspect possible. Could it be its performance? Its looks is very subjective, so I don't want to comment about its riding stance and mileage bit. How does this motorcycle compare in terms of handling? A lot of stuff. So we will, at the end of this video, let's come to a conclusion if this is a true competition for Royal Enfield Classic 350 or not. And I'll see you guys in a bit to talk more about this. Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today I have the Honda CB350 Highness. It looks absolutely stunning. For me, this looks is superb. It has a retro looking look to it, and then overall let's have a first 360 degree look of this motorcycle. It looks beautiful. There you have a proper 360 degree look. So let's straight away talk about the motorcycle in terms of its spec and all of it. This is powered with 21.07 horsepower at a max of 5500 rpm and also 30 newton meter of torque at 3000 rpm, as against the Royal Enfield Classic 350 is lower on power, so that is powered with 20.21 horsepower at 6100 rpm and also 27 newton meter torque, which is 3 newton meter torque lesser than this motorcycle. So from the power perspective, this motorcycle is definitely higher in terms of power compared to the Classic 350. Now talking about the braking, so this comes with the ABS, dual channel ABS braking, as against the Classic 350 comes with single channel ABS braking. And without wasting any time, let's start with the Odo console as usual. So now when you look at the Odo, you have the analog and digital odometer here, and then you have all the indicators here. You have neutral, engine, and indicator left, right. All of this been shown here. And also you have a USB cable here to charge your phone, which is a brilliant stuff. So that means you are long ride ready on this motorcycle. So coming on to your left hand side, you have the indicator left and right. So if you look at this here, so all motorcycle will have the indicator in this position and the horn here, but this is opposite. So this is like the Yamaha MT-15 which is there. So this might get annoying, not a big problem, you can get used to it, but when you ride for the first time you will definitely feel it's annoying. And when you go on the top, you have the high beam pass button and the high beam button. If you move it front, it will be high beam, and you do this way, it's pass button. And then you have 4 buttons here which is to work around this, so you get a lot of information in your disposal. So by here you have trip A, so that is by moving this, so you can change it. Trip B, total kilometers done, and then the average that you get, and then you have the battery voltage that it tells. So that's what this does, and it also gives you service indication and all of it. So coming onto your right hand side, you have the power on and power off kill switch, and then you have the hazard light. And this is a very good comfortable upright sitting posture, and this is a 15-liter tank. You get alloy wheels for this and dual channel ABS. The riding position is absolutely fantastic, and if you come on the front, you have the daytime light switched on all the time. So you have this indicator lights turned on all the time when you're riding, and similarly your headlight is turned on always when you're riding. There's a small daytime light which will be on all the time. And when you look at this motorcycle, it is beautiful. It has a good retro style to it, and also feels very good. I love the looks of this motorcycle. And when you look at the front, you get a telescopic suspension which is similar with the Royal Enfield Classic 350 as well. It has a telescopic front suspension, and you have twin hydraulic rear suspension on this. And talking about the fuel tank, so this gets a 15-liter fuel tank, as against the Royal Enfield Classic 350 gets a 13-liter fuel tank. So this is higher on fuel tank capacity as well. And then you look at the front light, so this one gets a LED light, as against the Royal Enfield gets a halogen light. And now let's talk about the tires. So this comes with the tubeless tires, and similarly with Royal Enfield Classic 350 has a tubeless tire. This comes with alloy wheels, and the Royal Enfield comes with the spoke wheels. So these are the basic differences when it comes to the way the motorcycle looks, and also the spec sheet of the motorcycle. And let's ride this motorcycle and tell you how this motorcycle feels, and is this a true competitor for a Royal Enfield Classic 350, and people who wish to buy a Classic 350, could they switch onto this motorcycle or opt on this motorcycle, and if this motorcycle is a true competitor in that space. Because if you really look at it, in the 350 space, if you're looking something like a classic retro looking motorcycle, there is nothing than the Classic 350. And then you have the Imperiale by Benelli, but then because there are various other reasons, various other issues, Benelli has not been able to capture the market. But then let's see if Honda can give the real fight to Royal Enfield Classic 350. So now let's ride this motorcycle and tell you how this motorcycle rides and feels and all of it. And at any point in time, if you like this video, please do consider subscribing to my channel by hitting the subscription button, and also feel free to hit the bell icon to make sure you get an update on every video upload. Now let's go ride this beautiful motorcycle. Now let's ride this beautiful machine, the Honda CB350 Highness, and tell you more about this motorcycle, and also let you know if this is a true competitor for a Royal Enfield Classic 350, and should you consider buying one of these. So I'm going to talk in detail about the riding position, the performance of this motorcycle, the braking, and also a whole lot of stuff compared to the Royal Enfield Classic 350, how good this or Royal Enfield Classic 350 is, and make your decision easier if you were to plan to buy one of a motorcycle in 350cc, which is more like a classic or a retro looking motorcycle. Let's ride this motorcycle without wasting any time. Before we start, this comparison between the Classic 350 and the Honda Hness 350. I've done a detailed video of the Royal Enfield Classic 350 also, and if you are willing to watch that, I will put a card on the top. Feel free to click on that. Go ahead, watch that video, and you can come back and watch this video. And let's start this comparison right away. So let's ride this motorcycle and tell you how this motorcycle feels, rides and is. And I'm gonna do a complete detailed comparison of this motorcycle with the Royal Enfield Classic 350. So this review is gonna be in multiple parameters. So I'm gonna talk about riding position, city handling, engine refinement, braking, acceleration, highway performance, top speed, and also the weight comparison and all of it. So this is gonna be a detailed one, so stay tuned. And I'm gonna also put a timeline so that you guys know exactly in which timeline what topic I'm going to discuss. So the very first thing which I'm going to discuss right now is about the riding position. This is a very comfortable upright riding position and feels very good. The handle positioning is very good. So similarly on the Royal Enfield Classic 350 also, that feels very good. So both, when you compare the Classic 350 and also the Honda Hness, both are similar riding position. Both are very comfortable, very good. And one plus point to this would be the riding, the seat. The seat is very comfortable. It gets a broad, nice, comfortable seat. But otherwise, from the riding perspective or the riding position perspective, both the motorcycles are very good riding position, and feels good. So this is what it is when it comes to riding position. And the minute you sit on the motorcycle, it's very nimble, and you don't have to really make an effort to ride this motorcycle. It feels very nimble and easy also. And let's talk about the weight. So this one, the Honda, is at 181 kgs and the Classic 350 is at 195 kgs. So you see there is a difference of 14 kilos. So that difference you can cleanly feel when you ride the Royal Enfield Classic 350. There's a lot of weight coming into it, and when you ride this, you really don't feel kind of a weight that this has, which is 181. So you don't feel any of that weight, or nor you feel you're riding a very big bike at all, because it's so nimble, it rides so easy, it's so agile. You can it's very sharp, and you can maneuver this motorcycle the way you want it. So that's another plus point which this motorcycle gets as vis-a-vis the Classic 350. Talking about the city handling, both the motorcycles are very good, very easy to handle in the city, and they ride very well. So this has a very good city handling capability. Like I mentioned, it's very sharp, it's very agile, it's quick. So all this adds on to the experience of a city ride. So you will be much more comfortable when you're riding on the city. Similarly on the Royal Enfield Classic 350 also, it's very agile and it's very sharp, and that will also feel very good while you ride in the city. Now coming on to the engine refinement. Well, Royal Enfield did a good job from their previous Classic 350 to the new one, which is the J1 platform, similar from Meteor platform. So it is definitely much better than the previous one. But when you compare this with this Honda Hness, I think there is absolutely no comparison. This motorcycle is refined to the core. I mean, the minute you sit onto the motorcycle, you start, and the minute you hear the beat itself, you know how refined that motorcycle is. And the acceleration, the gear shifting, the engine sound, everything, it's so refined, and you feel that when you ride it. I mean, I don't have to say much about it, but then you feel the entire joy of riding this motorcycle. So here, when it comes to engine refinement, definitely the Honda CB has a much upper hand compared to the Royal Enfield Classic 350. Now let's talk about the acceleration. Both motorcycles are quick, but when you look at the spec sheet, Honda Hness definitely shows a higher spec in terms of horsepower as well as in terms of torque. So does it really translate in the ride, or when you ride? Yes, definitely. This motorcycle is super smooth. The acceleration is immediately, especially after the mid-range. This motorcycle can do wonders. This goes absolutely ballistic. after the mid-range. It has very good top range as well, and the throttle response is very smooth and quick. So the minute you throttle, you get all that power and you can go on. I mean, that way this is super good when it comes to throttle response, and also the acceleration. The acceleration is very quick. Talking about the suspension, this has a very good suspension, comes with telescopic front suspension and twin hydraulic rear suspension. So the suspension is also very good. It can easily take on to any bad roads. Similarly with the Royal Enfield Classic 350 as well, that has also very good suspension. Even that takes on to any kind of bad roads very easily. In that manner, both of these stand same, so there is nothing difference in terms of this or that. Very important thing, the vibration bit. So let's talk about the vibration. So up till 80-90 kilometers on Royal Enfield, there's no vibration, you are completely fine. But then once you cross that 90-100, you tend to get that jittery feeling, and that gets onto you. And yes, they have done a good job with the new one, but still that vibration bit has not gone. But when it comes to this one, the Honda CB350, my god, this is like a butter smooth. I must say, it is butter smooth. Zero vibration, and even at 100 or even at top speed, you will not find any kind of vibration at any point of time. So the classic example for that is what I'm going to show you is the mirror. Look at this mirror. I am at easy 80, 90s or 100s also, and this mirror will not shake a little bit also, and you can see what's behind you or my hand very clear. But if this was the Royal Enfield Classic 350, you can easily see there would have been so much vibration, and you will not be able to actually see on your mirrors at all. So that way this motorcycle is super smooth, and absolutely no comparison when it comes to the vibration bit. Now let's talk about the highway performance. Now the weight plays a good role when you do the highway riding. So this is at 181 kilos and the Enfield is at 195 kilos. But then the difference does not really hamper this at all. On even highway, this is super stable and do not have any issues at all. And let's see what's gonna be the top speed on this. So I've done on the Classic 350 close to about 115 to 120 with great difficulty. I think 110 was very comfortable, but beyond that was a challenge. So I have done that. Let's see on this what do we clock. So this motorcycle can easily do 110 without a stress. Up till 100 is absolutely no stress. 110, okay, there's no stress, but it takes a little longer distance. After 110, it might feel a little slow, but then you can comfortably do 124 on this motorcycle without any problem. And I have already clocked 124 on this. After you go up till 110, it's cool. After 110 to 125, you need a longer distance to achieve that number, but then it easily and comfortably achieves that number without any problem and is super smooth even at 124. And coming to the braking, when we are doing such top speed, this one, the Honda Hness, comes with a dual channel ABS and disc brake on the both front and rear. But with the Classic 350, it is single channel ABS. You get the disc brake on the front and the drum brake on the rear. So it's very clear this motorcycle braking is also very sharp. Very good braking. It's got a good bite to it because it's dual channel ABS. And even at high speeds, you need not worry. You can comfortably rev this motorcycle or push this throttle and make sure you can easily stop the vehicle as well, because the braking is also very good. So that way, overall, this motorcycle, I must say, definitely has an upper hand compared to the Classic 350. Classic 350 is good, not saying it's bad, but then if you were to compare this versus Classic 350, this is definitely a Royal Enfield killer, and this can compete and beat hands down to Royal Enfield Classic 350 any single day. And if I were given a choice between the Classic 350 and the Honda Hness, I would prefer the Honda Hness 350 any single day because of its performance and many other things. The refinement that it has, the acceleration which it gives, the braking confidence it has, the highway performance what it has got, all this put together, this makes it a absolutely perfect buy. And everybody or anybody who's considering to buy a 350cc motorcycle and is considering between the RE versus the Honda, I think you should consider taking a test ride of this motorcycle and see to yourself how good a motorcycle is this. And with that, I think I'm very clear on the parameters which I've tested on, and I've given you a comparison. This definitely is a much superior and a much better motorcycle compared to the Classic 350. With that note, I would want to conclude this review. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching this video. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel and also hit the bell icon. And if you think this video was helpful or this might be helpful for any of your friends, please share this video with them. And that's it. That's all for now. Stay at home, stay safe, vaccinate yourself. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye bye for now.